Hello everybody, Pillars TCG here, and today I'm bringing you an episode on my old card games. Now, in this first episode, I'll just be dubbing this game, I guess, Space Gladiators, because that's the overall theme of the game. Basically, the concept was you played as this gladiator in this arena that would tame these creatures. Maybe the taming is part of the name, but I can't quite remember because it has been probably about 6 years or more since I made this. I made it with some friends, and basically the premise is you are one of these gladiators, and you are inside this arena, and the goal is to become the last one standing. But you have creatures at your disposal that you have tamed, such as these things, and you use them for most of your combat. Now, basically, this was not really a trading card game. The way me and my friends would do a lot of these games we made is you would just shuffle up all of your characters and then get one at random. So you'd get a random one, and then they have their different stats. And so the gameplay would change just based on that. So the stats would be, let me find a card that shows them off a bit better, because templates didn't really exist when we made this game. Well, they did, but not in this one. So you have your health, your speed, your attack, and your defense. Now remember, this game was played with a die, but not for damaging or anything. It was actually the speed stat. So for example, we have Bobby here. His HP is 14, which means if he takes 14 points of damage, he dies and you lose the game. You need to protect your gladiators, your champions, whatever they were called. His speed stat was, whenever he attacked, you'd have to roll a 6 or a 4 in order for the attack to land, I believe. And so that's how you could tell if a faster creature has 3 numbers, a slower has 1 in terms of how they can hit. Their attack is how much damage they do, and I believe their defense was how much damage they block, and if it was lower, I think it only did 1 damage. So Bobby here seems like a pretty well-rounded guy. I didn't do most of the art for this, but the concept was mine. Next here we have Tom. I like his design, kind of a classic space bounty hunter look. Next is Lieutenant Irish. I remember this guy was he was really bad at first. As you can see, it says has 18 for the health, but that was originally 10, as you can clearly see, and he was absolutely terrible, but friend adjusted him. This is one of the ones I did, Starence or Starence. Very Clone Wars Jet Trooper inspired, but there he is. He was decent, but not great. Here we have Beeper, who, regular looking dude. The best star is definitely Glop of Slime. I think my brother may have drawn this one, because it's a lot different style than the others. Vladimir, I think it's transspelled Vladimir. This is another one I did. He also wasn't good, and I definitely had a preferred color scheme back then. Billboy Baggy Pants, definitely one of my favorites. Then we're back to Bobby. Now, those guys were interesting and all, and you want to keep them alive, but what was more interesting were these guys. Because in this game, the whole point was you want to leave your cards out for a turn. Because after a turn, they would evolve. So if they survived a turn, and these were also shuffled into your deck, they would go from regular Piranha to big Piranha. And so you can see the stat shifts against 10 HP, 3 defense, 2 attack, and an extra speed. So basically, you would have a couple of these that you could play, and you would try to keep them alive, and you would try to kill your opponent's ones, because after a turn, they became way stronger. So the cards we have Piranha. Then we had Baggy, the good old badger, who became this after his turn. This is one I drew. That was one of our personal favorites, Goobert the Ghost. And this is Goobert in his transformed state. Then this one I think was also me, Waspy the Wasp. Pretty much the same design, but a bit different. And this one was a really powerful card. I remember that. Then we have Octavius 2.0, which is my favorite in terms of design. The other one looked better. He had kind of like a spiked head, but some of these you'll notice have a back and others don't. That was the first ones we made, didn't. Then my friends made some more by themselves, and we would trade which ones from our sets. We have Serpy, who has essentially the same design, but just a different angle. Next up we have Manti, the prey mantis. Again, this one was pretty similar. A lot of these cards don't change too much after the evolution, especially Beep. Beep was interesting because he's a lot stronger than others in his regular state, and doesn't gain too much after he evolves, but it also helped the gameplay in its own right. Then we had Tim Tim. This one was also mine. Good old turtle friend who became a beefy guy. This one was really hard to take out and dished out a ton of damage, but it could only hit if it rolled a 6. So as you can see, the gameplay was a little slow. We have Gargolin, who is designed very well. I just wish he changed more afterward. Here's Beater the Beetle, who gets a nice palette swap after the evolution. Same with ABDH. I can't remember what this stands for. It was something along the lines of a very big dolphin, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Yeah, I can't remember if it was just a big dolphin and then the H was an accident or not. But then we had Mr. Lady, the ladybug, who got a very drastic change at the evolution. Then our final two, we have Ratty the Rat, who is a bit of a humpback, who becomes good old Ratty 2.0. I think they wanted the other Ratty, but they want to keep the original Ratty 2.0, so only traded the first form. And then this was another one I did, Liz the Lizard, and as you can see from the silhouette, it gets a big ol' change. My designs are definitely Pokemon based, as you can see. But yeah, so those are all the cards in the game that I have. My friends probably don't have their others anymore, but there's quite a bit of them. So basically you would shuffle up the base forms and your champions and get dealt a random one. And so say you have Lieutenant Irish as your champion gladiator, you would place him down, and then throughout your turns you would play things like Liz on your field to protect him, and then Liz would evolve into other Liz. Your creatures would battle it out. So you would have like your Liz versus your Ratty, or your Mr. Lady versus a Liz. And this game was multiple, not just 1 versus 1. We had like big old brawls with this game. And then at the end, usually you would have to fight with your gladiator after your creatures went down. Sometimes you have to fight gladiator versus gladiator. So yeah, that was Space Gladiators, or whatever the original name was, where you tame your monsters and then evolve them and try to fight your way to glory in the arena. Well, I hope that you guys all enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new. I've seen a lot of growth on the channel lately and is greatly appreciated. Suggest some other things you might want to see in the future and leave a like on the video. Thank you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.